What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video for Tuesday, April 16th. We are back with another video. If you've been here before, you know the drill. Most of you love it. I have seen some of the other comments, such as, wow, you suggested the Phillies. I've lost now. Thanks a lot. I can't control if the Phillies against Mitch Keller have fantastic numbers, and then he comes out and throws a gem. I can't. I'm sorry. But for the guys, gals, and everyone else who loves what we bring, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, first off, welcome. Hopefully we've got your viewership and you are ready to go. We do things differently here. We go through every single game. We look at the pitchers. We look at the bats in those games. We look at odds. We look at it all. If you're looking for just like a couple of those plays that, just this, and this, we don't do that in this video, but we do that on the website and we do that in the Discord. So in the description of this video is not only the Discord link, which we give out core plays, it's also the link to the article that matches this video. So we go through everything, but in that article, we'll go through, 5, 6, however many pitchers we like on the slate, then each position, like 3 to 4 each position, then we put the outfielders as well. We also have some stacks on there as well. So watch this video. If it's helpful, that's awesome. If you need a little bit more help, we do have FTA Plus on the website. You can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. MLB tab, we have a ton of information to go over. We do sports bets as well. FTA Plus is $29.99 for a month, so less than $1 a day, most months. And you can check that out. We also have a couple of coupon codes left. If you do the yearly pass, it's normally $199. For $99, you get $100 off. Use the coupon code BIRTHDAY, all one word, all capital letters. You will get $100 off. But to start out, we have 2 giveaways every single day. The first way, like this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment on the video. That'll help you. Your name will be put into the YouTube random comment picker. And if the video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month. 150 likes, you have a chance to win a free year. Or 200 or more likes on the video, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass worth $500. So if you find this video at all helpful, leave a comment, hit the like button. We've never hit 200 likes, but I know we can do it. The second way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment of who you think is going to score the most, that's basketball. Who you think is going to hit a home run and what inning you think they'll hit it in. If you get both of those correct, screenshot your username here on YouTube with that comment, and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com with that screenshot, and we will get you set up on the website. If you don't already have an account, just let me know an email and a username you would like on the website. We will get you set up with that free week if you get the home run correct, both the player and the inning. So that being said, we are going to see who the winner is of yesterday's video. So we'll just do that right now and then we'll get into it. So the winner from yesterday's video, because we got as many likes as we did, Cujo Blue 73. You have some interesting insight. Now, I don't know if that's a good comment. I don't know if that's a bad comment, but I do appreciate your viewership. I do appreciate your comment. And Cujo, if you see this comment, like the video and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com with your username and password, and we will get you set up on the website for your free pass. And you guys can come back every single day. That's what's awesome. We have giveaways every single day, and the videos are doing well, and I want to give back. So come back tomorrow, Cujo, the next day, and we will get you, hopefully, playing in the right direction. Also, if you ever win, if you use our picture, our avatar is your Fanduel or DraftKings lineup, and you take down a GPP with at least 1,000 players in it, you get first place, we will give you a free month of FTA Plus as well. So I'm going to do a little bit different in this video. We're going to do the normal thing, going through the games, going through the pitchers. At the end of the video, you guys are used to it. We go through top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So what I do is I run a simulation model, and I put that runs during the video, and then we give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. later on in the day, about 2 hours before about 2 hours before lineups lock on the majority of the main slate, or whatever day it is, we update the simulations and we give you the simulations after 20,000 simulations. So on top of that, towards the end of the video as well, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Let me know if you guys like this. If you do, comment that you like it. I'm going to give you some of our top sports bets for the slate. So we're going to look at some of our top pitching props. We're also going to do some batting props as well. So they are on the website. I'm going to give you a few that I do like right now, but I will update it, and it will, if we need to change anything, stuff like that, we will update on the website as well. Also, do not forget, today we have 2 very important play-in games for the NBA. I've been mulling around the idea. I don't know if you guys want videos moving in, but play-in games obviously are one game, balls to the wall with all the players that need to play in those games. So I will be having bets on the website as well, because we're very excited for the NBA playoffs. But we'll just see how it goes. If you guys want that NBA content, let me know. If you guys have kind of moved on from NBA just to focus on MLB, I completely understand. Let me know that as well. It'll just depend if you guys want any of that information. So that being said, we're jumping into this slate right here. This game you see is not on any slate. I don't really know why it's this early, and so we're not even going to cover it. Probably look at Texas Bats if you're playing that, because Casey Mize has not looked the best. But yeah, we're not going to play this one because it's not on any slate. And if there was an all-day FanDuel slate, there's really no point to play this one game and then wait 5.5 hours for the next few games. So we're just going to completely go away from this game today. That brings us to a little early slate. I think it's 4-game. Little 4-game early slate here. We've got Twins at the Orioles. We've got Chris Paddack versus Grayson Rodriguez. Paddack, 21. So 21 plate appearances is 1 start against the Orioles. 19K percentage, 158 batting average. I don't really trust those numbers because we know the Orioles are a great team. And then on the flip side, you got Grayson Rodriguez, who's looked amazing. His stuff's really getting crisp. Like, he's got breaking stuff. He's got fastballs. Like, he's got what it takes. I think in this game, I would rather take the Orioles bats, and I would rather take Grayson Rodriguez against the Twins. In that, the bats, just depending on the bats, you could look at Jackson Holliday for a little bit cheaper option. Adley, Ryan O'Hearn, Mountcastle, Santander, Cedric Mullins. Like, I feel like you could be looking at a Baltimore stack. Now, I will preface this by saying, kind of a callback to the earlier comment of the guy saying that I said the Phillies and it didn't work out. I am not going to be right 100% of the time. I'm giving you my insight as much as I possibly can. Been in the DFS business for 10 plus years now. I know baseball. Things can happen. Mike Trout can go 4 for 4 with home runs, 4 home runs. Next day, everyone's on him because he had 4 home runs. He could then strike out 5 times that game, and that's my fault somehow. So, I do like the Orioles. I like them as multiple different batters from the stack, depending on when the lineup comes out. I would look at Grayson Rodriguez. I would look at the Orioles as a stack. Then we got the Rockies at the Phillies. 59 plate appearances for Gomber, 232 batting average, 23.7K percentage. Flip side of that, Ranger Suarez, 41 plate appearances, 189. In my heart of hearts, Ranger Suarez has a fantastic matchup here, and I would stack the Phillies. Could the Rockies dominate? Yes, any pitcher can get dominated at any time. Anytime. Like Hunter Brown the other day when the Royals put up like 9 in the first inning. That doesn't happen all the time. I do love Ranger Suarez here. The Phillies are a better team than Colorado. On paper, on the field, in the playoffs, in the divisions, in the standings, every single day of the week. Could have off days. In this game, I would focus on taking the Philly bats, and I would look at Ranger Suarez. I would look at Trey Turner against a lefty. I would look at Castellanos, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. Depending on who else is out there, JT Realmuto against a lefty. You always want to take JT there. You want some value bets. It just depends on who's going to be in that lineup. But I think a Philly stack against Gomber and Ranger Suarez is where I would go in this game right here. If you want to get contrarian and let's say you make 20, 50, whatever lineups, you could throw Austin Gomber in there because his ownership's going to be pretty low. Speaking of, if we've got a top 10, they're in the chalk here. You can, usually the afternoon is when it's updated, and we will see, you can see if Austin Gomber makes the ownership percentage there and makes any of the chalk, because that's where you could find value. 99.9% of the time, that's not going to work, and Austin Gomber will get lit up. He could have those amazing days where he does score a ton and shuts down a very potent offense like the Phillies. So take him in contrarian tournaments. You're not taking Austin Gomber in cash. You're not taking any of the Rockies bats in cash. You would look at Ranger Suarez and the Philly bats for both cash or tournaments. Moving to the Giants at the Marlins, you got Jordan Hicks versus Ryan Weathers. Hicks, 20 plate appearances, 200 batting average. Ryan Weathers, 18 plate appearances, 143. Now, Weathers did pretty decent against the Yankees his last start. And this is where I'll tell you I was wrong. I was on the Yankees. I was stacking all the righties on the Yankees, and whatever Ryan Weathers was doing was working for him. Now, would like him a little bit better if this were in San Francisco, which is a pitcher's park, but we can't get what we want. Jordan Hicks, on the other hand, has got so spring training looked bad for him. The regular season, Hicks has looked great overall, moving from the bullpen to the starting rotation. I would side with Jordan Hicks, and I would side with the Giants bats in this one. So the bats that I would look at would be Lamont Wade Jr., I would look at Jorge Soler, Matt Chapman are the ones that jump out right now. Again, when the simulations get done, maybe we've got some Giants bats that we're going to talk about. So, as of now, I don't want any Ryan Weathers for cash. You could look in tournaments. I'd be okay with that. He's very hot or cold. He was very hot against the Yankees. Will he go cold against the Giants? I don't know. He'll be a cheaper option on this slate. But really none of the Marlins bats. I mean, Brian De La Cruz, you could look at. Jake Berger just went on the IL, I think, either Sunday night or Monday. So that's a big bat that's gone. You do have Jazz you could look at. But other than that, no Marlins bats as of now. Luis Ariz is another one. They don't jump out on paper for me right now. Again, once we get the simulations done off this screen, maybe some of them will jump up, but they just aren't right now. Angels at the Rays, Soriano versus Aaron Savale. Now, Soriano, we used him in his last start because he was super cheap. Savale, hit or miss on him. To be honest with you, in this early slate, these two pitchers are tournament-only pitchers. I don't mind them. I just don't know if I will use much at all. Bats-wise, obviously with the Angels, be Trout, Taylor Ward, Nolan Schanuel. Maybe a little bit of Anthony Rendon because he is cheap. Flip side on Tampa Bay, if you're not using either of these pitchers, Isaac Paredes you could look at, Brandon Lau, Harold Ramirez, Randy Arozarena. I just don't feel comfortable paying up for the mostly Tampa Bay prices are not my favorite on this slate. I'll put it that way. So that being said, that's kind of where I'm at looking here. So yeah, tournament-wise, both of these pitchers I'm okay with. Bats-wise, I'm okay with tournaments, but again, I wouldn't play them in cash. So then we get to the main slate. We've got the Yankees at the Blue Jays. We had this matchup. I think it was this same matchup last start for them. Let's check it out. And they're right around the same price. So Kikuchi, I will admit, I was on the Yankees as a stack against Kikuchi because they had a lefty on righty matchup, and he just went out. Well, it was 2 starts ago for him. 5.1 innings, 7 Ks, 22.4 fantasy points. So start off rough against Tampa Bay, has had 2 great starts in a row. Now his price, this is the problem. Last time he played the Yankees, his price was $6,100 on DraftKings. It has now jumped up to $7,800. The Yankees saw him 11 days ago. They know what he's bringing to the table. I could see everyone being fooled by using Kikuchi, and then he gets lit up. I could definitely see that. So, again, I'm going to go back to the well. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm probably going to be stacking the Yankees against him. I will have Kikuchi in a couple of tournament lineups as a pitcher, probably SP2. His price has gone up there. Comes in, though, 20 Ks in 3 starts, 2.3 ERA is not bad, but I will probably look at the Yankees' bats again. Volpe is batting like 500 right now. I would look at him. Oswaldo Cabrera, I would look at. And then we got Juan Soto, lefty on lefty. You got Judge, who's sort of heating up. You got Stanton, who hits well in Toronto historically. Lefty on righty matchup there. Glaber's kind of struggling right now. That's not a thing or like a surprise. If Trent Grisham is in there for whatever reason, I would not play him. I would not play Trevino, I don't think. Tournaments, maybe, because he's cheap. But yeah, I would definitely be looking at the Yankees righties here again. I'm going to go back to the well here. This is how you become a better DFS player. You see that you were wrong. I'll admit, I was wrong against Kikuchi last time. So in my mind, a newbie DFS player would probably take Kikuchi because they just go off recency bias. I would rather focus on taking the Yankees bats here. I think it'll be an under-owned stack on a slate like this, especially after what he did to them last time. And then Rodon, game log-wise, he did not face Toronto. He's coming off arguably his best start of the year. 6 innings in that game, got a W, had 6 strikeouts as well. Historically, against Toronto, 58 plate appearances, 22.4 K percentage, and a 200 batting average. He has looked everything he was supposed to last year and more this year. Now, he's going to be due for one of those setback games where maybe he gets lit up. But right now, he's got the stuff working for him. If he can grind out at bats here and get them out, swings and misses, gets up there to 97 miles an hour, we could see vintage Rodon. I love me some Rodon. I will have Rodon both cash and tournaments. I'm probably off of Kikuchi and cash, but I will have a couple of lineups here in tournaments. Guardians at the Red Sox, Tanner Bibby versus Garrett Whitlock. I don't care what these numbers are. The Red Sox have looked like absolute garbage most of the season. Started off kind of hot. Started off pretty hot to start the season. And then just once their bullpen comes in, they're all over it. They're just crap in the bed. I would look at Bibby for tournaments, and I would look at the Guardians bats. I would look at Jose Ramirez. Love me Jose Ramirez. I would look at Josh Naylor. I would look at Gabriel Arias. You could look at Estevan Florial will be a cheap option if he starts. I don't mind him there either. Andres Jimenez is another one. So I'll be looking at stacking the Guardians, and I'll be looking at taking Bibby both cash and tournaments, probably an SP2 for me. I really don't want anything to do with Whitlock. He's not getting run support. The bullpen's given up. I just don't have any faith in this Red Sox right now. I don't even, if you're a Red Sox fan, do you even have faith in Red Sox right now? I don't think so. The ownership, general manager, everyone above just did absolutely nothing this offseason after saying they were going to go all in. I don't know if they know what all in means, but they did not. Pirates at the Mets. As of now, we don't know who the Pirates are going to pitch versus Jose Quintana. Quintana, 74 plate appearances, 203 batting average. So let's take a look. I feel like they just pitched, right? Or am I wrong? So Quintana here, game log wise. Okay, so he's facing one of his old teams, I believe. He's been okay. Atlanta did get the W at 5.1 innings, only 4Ks. So he's maxed out at 4Ks. This is a pitcher's park, though, and he's only pitched once at home, where he went 4.2 innings, 2 earned runs. So it is a pitcher's park. So tournaments, I'm okay with Quintana, but the problem is his price is $7,200. It's the most he's been all year, and he hasn't gone deep into games, and he really hasn't struck a ton. You would love to see 6+ strikeouts out of a starting pitcher to make you feel confident, especially at a $7,200 price tag. So as of right now, Quintana for tournaments, none of the bats, because I don't know who's pitching for Pittsburgh. It says Jared Jones, and he last pitched Thursday, so it could be him, or it should be him. And if it is, he would make a great option. He's done pretty well this season. He is $8,500 though. Don't know if it's going to be Jared Jones. If it is, I would take him in this pitcher's park over Quintana for sure. Royals at the White Sox, Brady Singer versus to be announced. It does not matter who's pitching for the White Sox. Love Brady Singer. Absolutely love Brady Singer here. I would take Brady Singer in a heartbeat. I would take Kansas City bats. So we look at Singer. He's the third highest priced pitcher on the slate at $9,200. Faced the White Sox 2 starts ago, 6.1 innings, Only 4 Ks. So Minnesota, he had 10 Ks. And then back-to-back starts, he's only had 4 Ks, but he beat the Houston Astros. That is where I believe they put up 9 runs in the first inning, and we had Singer that way. Only had to go 5 innings because they were up so big, because he only had 87 pitches. His first start, he went 98. So if we could see more of the first start against Minnesota in this one, if we could see 6 strikeouts, love Brady Singer here. Love the Astros, or the Royals bats here against whomever. I guess let's see if anyone's listed. They don't have anyone listed here. So we look at that, and yeah, basically what I would be looking at is, and if you've been with us before, the Royals have been amazing so far this year. I would look at Bobby Witt Jr. I would be looking at Nelson Velasquez, Bobby Witt Jr. You could look at Sal Perez. Little cheaper options. You could be looking at Michael Garcia. You could be looking at Kyle Isbell. You could be looking at MJ Melendez as well. So I will be all in on a Royals stack here. It just depends on the lineup that comes out. If we can find that sweet spot of a lineup. And then I would look at Singer. Probably overall my favorite pitcher on this slate. Because, I mean, Gilbert's a little bit expensive and Dylan Cease as well. So I do love me some Brady Singer today. We go Padres at the Brewers. You got Dylan Cease versus Wade Miley. Cease, 28 plate appearances, .074. Love him. But again, he is expensive, and he's pitching on the road. And so Milwaukee's a little bit worse of a ballpark for pitchers than Petco. And then you got Wade Miley. 87 plate appearances against the Padres. 11.5 K percentage, .278 batting average. So I believe this is Miley's, is it third? Is it third start? Okay, so they think it's going to be Eric Fetty. So he was supposed to pitch on Monday, but they maybe moved him back. Yeah. Royals, maybe one of my favorite stacks. Wade Miley, is this your third? No, this is his second start. 4 innings against the Reds, only 1 earned run, but only had 2 walks, no Ks, and 4.6 fantasy points at 7,200. And then they only brought him down to 6,900. I would be focusing on the Padres as a stack and Dylan Cease as one of my pitchers. He is the most expensive pitcher on the slate. I completely understand. But I would be looking at Manny Machado to go yard again. I would look at Fernando Tatis Jr. Bogarts would be a little bit cheaper option. Kim, I would look at. Depending if he's there, Jackson Merrill, I don't mind. He's a cheaper option. I would be looking at stacking the Padres in this one. If you want to go contrarian and say you're going against Dylan Cease, who's had success, again, it's basically 1 start. You could still, Christian Yelich, you could look at. Jackson Chourio, you could look at. But in my focus, I'm focused on the Padres bats, and I'm focused on Dylan Cease as one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. Price-wise, he is expensive. I would rather take Brady Singer to save some money. But, I mean, you can't deny the matchup here. Braves at the Astros. Reynaldo Lopez was supposed to pitch Monday, but everything there's a couple pushed back here with different pitchers. Versus Hunter Brown. I would not use either of these guys. So if we look at this, Reynaldo Lopez somehow is 8,000. Is coming off a good start against the Mets, 6 innings there. So he's gone 6 innings in both of his starts. 6 Ks and 5 Ks here, but this is Houston. I know they've struggled. I would rather, with all the other pitching on the slate, I would rather take bats on both sides. Because then you got Hunter Brown, who's down at 6,500, and his last start, 2/3 of an inning, 11 hits allowed, 9 earned runs to the Royals. Comes in, he's got back-to-back minus fantasy points. Had a decent start against the Yankees. Lit up by the Rangers. Lit up by the Royals. Now he faces a tough Atlanta team. And Houston's been kind of dog water at home. Comes in with 16.44 ERA, 0-2 record, only 8 strikeouts in 3 starts. Is a wild stat. I would be definitely looking at stacking. I would stack the Braves, but look at some of the Astros bats too. So the Braves that I would stack. Matt Olson against a righty. Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris. Acuna is struggling. So if we look at Acuna, his price is still $6,400. There's still, his price is up there. Had a good game against Miami on Sunday. Had a good game against Miami on Friday. Had a really good game against the Mets. But he has no home runs right now. He is still being productive at the plate, getting all these fantasy points, averaging 10.4. But 273 batting average. It's coming with, like, stolen bases are where he's getting his points. Home runs, the home runs will come. If there is a cure for Ronald Acuna's home run drought, it's Hunter Brown. It is Hunter Brown. So, again, Acuna is expensive. If he doesn't hit a home run, he's still getting on base. He's still stealing bases. So, I would not look at... Tournament-wise, you could look at Reynaldo Lopez. He is kind of expensive, which is crazy. He's gone 6 innings, both of us in his starts. The Astros are at home. They have struggled. But if you don't want to go with Reynaldo, you could be looking at Diaz. You could be looking at Altuve. You could be looking at Kyle Tucker, Jordan. You could be looking at those guys. But it will really depend on the lineups that come out. Tournament-wise, Reynaldo Lopez, I'm okay with. Stacking-wise would be the Braves. I want nothing to do with Hunter Brown. Could I be wrong? Could he come through and absolutely dominate the Braves? He could, but I'm not paying up for Hunter Brown at $6,500. I'd rather stack the Braves. We get the Cubs at the Diamondbacks next. We got Kyle Hendricks versus Tommy Henry. Hendricks, 246 plate appearances, a 269 batting average. 246 plate appearances is a massive number against any team. The problem, Arizona is like Coors Field Jr., like we've said. So if we look at this, overall, 20.7 K percentage, 246 batting average, or 246 plate appearances is a ton. Suarez, 52 plate appearances. Tucker Barnhart, 49, 28, 22, 28. Like, it has been massive. Suarez has 2 home runs against him. Overall, 247 plate appearances, 6 home runs, 51 strikeouts, striking out 20.6. Again, when we see Kyle Hendricks, he's just boring, okay? He looks like he's bored out there. But he is 6,000. He's the second lowest priced pitcher on the slate. But he has not looked good this season. 12 ERA, minus 4.2 against the Padres, 1 fantasy points against the Dodgers, minus 4.4 against Texas, averaging his fantasy points per game right now is minus 2.5. He is very cheap. He's had success against the Diamondbacks in the past. I don't think I can trust him. I'd rather take the Diamondback bats. Corbin Carroll at the top. I would look at Cody Bellinger has, Corbin Carroll, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Christian Walker, Jock Peterson against his former team. You could look at that. I would be looking at Arizona as a stack, Ketel Marte as well, Eugenio Suarez too. Flip side of that, we've got Tommy Henry. Did I overlook him? Let's see. Tommy Henry right here, 6,700. Game log wise, 15.1 in Colorado, which is great. 11.9 against Atlanta, and then 2.2 against Colorado. He really hasn't done a ton. I don't think, with all the other pitching on the slate, I'm probably not on Henry. I'm probably on some Cubs bats, depending. Chris Morel, Ian Happ, Michael Busch. It just depends on the lineup that comes out. I'll have a little bit of exposure. I just don't feel like I want either of these pitchers. Next game, Reds at the Mariners. You got Hunter Green versus Logan Gilbert. 11 plate appearances, 200 batting average, so not much there. And then Logan Gilbert, 38 plate appearances, a 343 batting average. So overall, that's a start and a half. Logan Gilbert is expensive, but he's been lit up here. So we can look at this. But if you look at him, you dig in a little bit. 500 batting average, 500 batting average, 1,000 batting average. That's what's going to bump up the price. Hasn't given up any triples or home runs. Has given up 3 doubles to this team, 2 to Will Benson. Logan Gilbert, it's been weird because most of the starting pitchers have struggled out the gate for the majority of teams. But Logan Gilbert, 27.7 against Toronto. They are a good hitting team. 7.2 innings, 8 Ks. Against Milwaukee, 5.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 home runs, 7 Ks. And then against Boston, who's a bad team, 7 innings pitched, 8 Ks in that game. Love me some Logan Gilbert here. He is expensive, though. And we know Cincinnati hits well. So I will have some Logan Gilbert. He is expensive, but I will have him. Don't know how many lineups yet, but I could see if you are going against the grain there, Will Benson, Ellie De La Cruz, Jake Fraley, Spencer Steer. Those would be the bats that I would use for Cincinnati. But honestly, at the moment, I think I'm going to look at more Logan Gilbert against Cincinnati. I would probably favor the Reds bats if this were in Cincinnati, but since it's in Seattle, I think I'm going to favor Logan Gilbert there. And then Hunter Green, the Mariners have struggled. I mean, I don't think that's a surprise. Hunter Green at 9,000, game log wise, has been pretty good. Seattle, like I said, struggled. The strikeouts have been there, 9, 6, and 7, but he is coming off a bad game against Milwaukee, 6 earned runs, but that was his worst start. If he has a bounce back, it could be against the Seattle team. So I honestly don't mind Hunter Green either. But he is up there at 9,000 too, so kind of expensive too. We got the Cardinals at the Athletics, Lance Lynn versus JP Sears. Lynn, 44 plate appearances, 233 batting average. So while they haven't seen a ton of each other, I could see this. It just depends. This is a pitcher's ballpark. You guys know this. You know I love taking pitchers at Oakland Coliseum. So let's just look at what their numbers look like. So overall, we come down. Wait, where's he at? Lance Lynn is 8,400. Game log wise, coming off a great start against Philly. 5 innings. The problem is he's only gone 5 innings one time, and that's it. 6 strikeouts in there. The strikeouts have been there for Lynn. I will admit that. 6, 7, and 5. The walks, he did have 4 against Philly, but then the other 2 starts was just 1 in that one. 2.63 ERA, 18 Ks. If he's going to have a good game, it's going to be in Oakland against this Oakland team. So I do not mind Lance Lynn. I do not mind him cash or tournaments. And then you got JP Sears. Now, we did use him his last start, and it was a fantastic start against Texas. 6.1 innings, 1 hit allowed, 5 Ks, his best start of the year. We used him in that because he was only 5,000. If you go back to that on last Thursday, if you go back to that video from last Thursday, I said you've got to take exposure to him at 5,000. They've now bumped him up to 6,300. St. Louis does hit lefties well, like Paul Goldschmidt, Brendan Donovan, Nolan Arenado. In theory, or history, they have hit lefties well. But Sears at 6,300 allows us to pay, like if we went like Sears and then we went Brady Singer, or Sears and Logan Gilbert, or Sears and Dylan Cease, I would be okay with that as an SP2. Bats-wise, none really jump out to me right now. I think I kind of like both pitchers over that. I think Lynn's more of your cash option. I think Sears is more of your tournament option, but I could see you playing both of them and having success. The final game, Patrick Corbin was supposed to pitch on Monday. Go back to that, 214 plate appearance, 271. You are stacking against him. I'm all over Teoscar Hernandez against a lefty. Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Freddie Freeman. It doesn't matter, lefty on righty matchup. Dodgers, maybe Ryan Yarbrough, maybe not. Could be a bullpen day. Whoever it is, if Yarbrough is going to be in there, the problem is the innings are weird. It's just so weird. And if you've been with us since last season, you know I absolutely hate the opener. It does nothing. It does not help us. You don't know if he's going to go 4.2 innings or he's going to go 1 inning. So if it is Ryan Yarbrough, he's got a great matchup against Washington. Just don't know if he's going to be in that game long enough. That's the problem. But I do know that I want all of the Dodgers smoke. I want all the Dodgers smoke. So, to reiterate, I really don't want Patrick Corbin. I don't want Hendricks. Yarbrough I don't want. I'll have some exposure to Sears. I'm stacking. So I'm stacking against Corbin. I'm stacking against Hunter Brown. Probably off of Tommy Henry. Probably stacking against Wade Miley. Stacking the Royals against Fetty. Quintana I'll have some exposure to. Rodon I'll have exposure to. Kikuchi I'll have exposure to in tournaments. Reynaldo Lopez in tournaments I'm okay with, but again, I just don't trust him a ton. I would look at taking bats against Whitlock, so I don't want him. I don't mind Lance Lynn. I don't mind Jared Jones because it is a pitcher's park. Tanner Bibby because Boston's looked bad. Hunter Green because Seattle's looked bad. Singer because the White Sox are bad. Logan Gilbert because he's He's been dominant this year. And Dylan Cease because he's had the number of Milwaukee, and he looks fantastic as well. So there you have it. Those are the pitching and batting options. We're going to go over the top 20 bats and then some of our favorite bets for the day. Now, the bets can change a little bit if any new weather comes out, if anyone's in or out, if the updated lineups don't have the players we thought were going to be in. These can all change everything else. So, as of right now, these are the top 20 bats through 10,000 simulations. Number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr. Number 2, Aaron Judge. 3, Kyle Schwarber. 4, Gunnar Henderson. 5, Trey Turner. 6, Anthony Volpe. 7, Juan Soto. 8 is Bryce Harper. 9 is Jose Altuve. 10 is Lamont Wade Jr. 11 is Cody Bellinger, which I don't know if I agree with that right now. Number 12 is Jorge Soler. 13, Corbin Carroll. 14, Kyle Tucker. 15, Ian Happ. 16, Wilmer Flores. 17, Yordan Alvarez. 18, Chris Morel. 19, Christian Walker. And number 20, Paul Bartholomew Goldschmidt against JP Sears. Looking at some of the home run simulations and projected home runs, as of now, 23 home runs projected over 11 games on the main slate. Or 11 games. The Yankees over Toronto. The Angels over Tampa Bay. The Braves over the Astros. San Francisco over Miami. So San Francisco over Ryan Weathers. So, some of the bets that I like. Pitching props that I don't mind. Logan Gilbert, 5+ strikeouts. I would take over 5+ strikeouts. Yusei Kikuchi, his line as of now, and these lines will change. So depending on when you watch this video, this is when you would get your bets in, because the more people bet on these, the line will move and you'll get worse odds against them. As of now, Yusei Kikuchi over 3.5 strikeouts. I've got Tanner Bibby over 5 strikeouts. I don't know if you could hear my dogs barking in the background, but because there's a fart in the wind, they'll bark for no reason. So Bibby over 5 strikeouts, I would look at. Ranger Suarez over 4.5 strikeouts. Grayson Rodriguez 6+ strikeouts. I do not mind that there. And then Carlos Rodon jumps out to me right now. 4+ strikeouts is what I would look at. So those would be the pitcher strikeout odds. Batters for home run chances. So again, these are very volatile. These home run bets are very volatile. But number 1 jumps out is Aaron Judge over Kikuchi. His odds right now are plus 248 for a home run, so I would look at that. Another really good odd here, Gunnar Henderson over Chris Paddock is plus 312. Davis Schneider over Rodon is plus 329. Yordan versus Reynaldo Lopez is plus 374. Taylor Ward versus Aaron Savale, plus 383. William Contreras against Dylan Cease is plus 408. Another big one that jumps out to me, Giancarlo Stanton, a home run over Kikuchi, is plus 415 odds right now. Those would be the ones that jump out. Those are kind of just an update. So if you like adding the odds and the bets to these, let me know. I can continue to do that if that's something you guys are interested in. If you're not interested in these, I can make the video shorter, obviously, and we won't talk about them. We won't have them in there. So that is what I've got in this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, get those down below. Email us. Hit us up on the Discord. Everything we've got for you is somewhere on the website or in the Discord, or I can try to answer them on Twitter at advisors_team as well. So good luck on this slate. Hopefully you had a great Monday, and hopefully your Tuesday is even better. Good luck, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!